What kind of yellow squash are you using?
Pardon me?
What kind of squash are you using? It looks big.
It says spaghetti squash.
Oh.
Yeah, I just what I could find.
Okay.
It's very hard.
Yeah, that's a winter squash. And I'm not sure if you want to put that in the soup. What? Because
Oh, really?
have you cooked it before?
No.
Okay, so when you cook it, if you roast it or you can microwave it, the inside pulls away and it makes strings like spaghetti.
Oh.
That's why they call it spaghetti squash. You can literally scrape it with a fork and eat it with marinara sauce. So if you haven't cut it into pieces yet, I would actually recommend you roast that in the oven as a separate side dish.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's going to be really hard and it's going to take a long time to cook in the soup.
Okay. All right. Glad you said something. Thanks. Okay. So then we're ready for the dry ingredients then.
Okay. And when we get off, so Google some recipes for spaghetti squash because it's really good, but it's very different from the yellow squash that would be going in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just saw the seeds and I was like, that squash looks huge. Yeah. So but it is good. So save that for another recipe.
Okay.
Okay.
Take the zucchini out.
I think now we're ready for the dry spices, yeah?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so let's start with a half tablespoon of cumin and put it on top of the vegetables. Put your dry spices on top of the vegetables so they're not touching the pan yet. We want to toast them up, but we don't want them on the pan to burn.
Quarter teaspoon. I'm sorry, you said teaspoon or tablespoon?
1/2 tablespoon of cumin.
Okay. Wait, we're gonna use what we're using. Look at that.
I don't know why my vanilla one.
Later, honey.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll put it somewhere else.
All right.
No.
Well, let's not eat that yet, okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
And then a 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder.
Onion powder.
What's that onion powder? This thing?
Yeah. Just 1/2 tablespoon.
There's onion powder?
Yeah.
It's just this one it has some onion taste to it. You need a what of onion powder?
1/2 tablespoon.
Okay.
Here.
It's a 1/2 tablespoon. Then we need a 1/2 tablespoon.
So I have all of the spices since we're both making a 1/2 batch.
Go ahead.
So next you'll use 1 teaspoon of chili powder.
Okay. So is the amount you're saying the half portion?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're both doing a 1/2 batch.
Yeah, so this is cool.
And after you get 1 teaspoon of chili powder, you want a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder.
Okay.
1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder.
What is this? Use the garlic. Ew. Wait, no, put it in. 1 teaspoon, not tablespoon, Matthew.
Oh.
1/2 teaspoon, that's the small one.
Don't mind me.
You should be here to see stuff. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
What?
1 teaspoon of oregano.
Mm-hmm. 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. Yep, good. Here, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. How much garlic is it supposed to do? Oregano is a spice. 1/2. Good. No, we need the garlic. I forgot the garlic. How much garlic was it?
It is
1/2 tablespoon. You need a tablespoon of cumin.
Yeah.
Tablespoon onion powder. 1 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Here, Matthew, come.
Okay, and if you have turmeric, let's get a half teaspoon of turmeric in there.
I don't think there's any turmeric.
Don't worry about it. It doesn't give it a whole lot of flavor, but it does give it a lovely golden color, and it gives it a lot of antioxidants.
Can you do curry powder, or would that be too strong?
Curry powder will be a little too strong. It takes the soup in a different direction. It's not bad. It just takes it out of southwestern direction.
Oh, okay.
Do you have smoked paprika?
Smoked paprika?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just have regular paprika.
Okay, you can put a half teaspoon of regular paprika in there. That will enhance the color as well.
Okay. Turmeric is hard to find.
I am.
Yeah, turmeric is very hard to find with I guess it's supposed to have it help with your immune system, and so I think
People are stockpiling it. Yeah, I think I got mine right before this whole thing hit. I have almost a full container.
Yeah, we had some, but it's finished, and I can't. Every time I try to get it, it's out.
What's next? It's finished.
Okay, so next, what you want to have on hand is your chicken broth ready. Don't put it in yet, but have it open because we're gonna stir these spices up and we want them to toast, but it's a quick process.
Broth is
So make sure your chicken broth is open.
How much chicken broth do I need, Mom?
it's 2 quarts.
So for half of the half batch, you'll do 1 quart, which is 4 cups. I think I'm a little short, so I'm gonna have to supplement it with some water.
4 of those. Yeah.
I can't see.
It's just almost up to the top.
How many cups?
That's 1. Good.
So just have your chicken broth ready, but don't put it in yet. Stir your vegetables and spices. And let's give our spices a minute to toast in the pan. Just a minute.
Mom?
Not yet. And then once those spices, you can smell them. Once their scent elevates, go ahead and add your chicken broth. Add 1 cup of chicken broth and then stir so that you're scraping the bottom of the pan and getting all the flavor up.
Go ahead.
The what?
1 cup of chicken broth.
Yep. Add 1 cup of broth and stir to get all the flavor up off the pan. And you can add the rest of your chicken broth. When we add a liquid to the pan after we've been sauteing, that's deglazing the pan. We're basically deglazing the pan to get all the flavor up. And then you can add the rest of your stock.
2 more cups of it. How much? No, there's another over there.
Okay. And then the rest of our ingredients go in the pan. So then we're going to add our chicken. If you're using beans, they go in now. If you have green chilies, they go in now. Or any other spicy pepper that you may want to add. So I'm adding my hominy, which was rinsed and drained. I'm adding my diced chicken.
Let me get my corn.
And my green chilies.
Yeah, it's supposed to be soup. Look at hers. Yeah, look. See?
So all the vegetables and the chicken should be in the soup now. The spices give it a warm color. The last thing we want to do is really just let it simmer. So that all the flavors can come together. I'm gonna turn my heat up just a bit because I had to turn it down and let this soup simmer for about 15 minutes. And you'll know the soup is ready when the squash is kind of crisp, tender. It shouldn't be mushy, it should be tender. So we're gonna simmer this for 15 minutes. Until the zucchini is tender. And at that point, you want to taste it to see if you want to adjust any of the seasonings. Do you want to add a little salt? The reason we didn't add salt is because of the pre-cooked chicken, which is seasoned, and the chicken broth, which usually has salt. So you just want to simmer the soup until it's tender. I mean, the zucchini's tender, and then check for seasonings and adjust as necessary. And then your soup will be done. Now the next thing to think about is what are you going to serve the soup with? Because it has a very Southwestern flavor, it's nice if you can have some avocado or cilantro to go with it as a garnish. But what I like to do is crunch up tortilla chips in my bowl of soup. That to me is just delicious. I like to eat it with because it enhances that hominy flavor or that corn flavor that's already in the soup. So that's something to think about, how to garnish your soup.
Yeah, I think I'll use a tortilla chips soon and my spaghetti squash.
There you go.
I already cut up some of it, so I'm gonna just put it in the oven.
Yeah, just roast it off and you'll see how the strings come off, and it's really it's fun. It's very much like noodles.
Oh, okay. So what do you put like salt and pepper on it if you're in the oven, or some butter?
Yeah, I hit a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and then roast it in the oven.
I dumped this in
No, you have to drain it.
And it takes, it might take about 20-30 minutes in the oven, but you'll know it's done when you take a fork and scrape the inside of the squash, and it'll make strings like spaghetti.
Okay. The corn, if you put the corn that you're putting in the soup should be drained, right? Or should you pour the corn in?
Yeah, you want to drain it. Everything that goes in the soup is drained.
Okay, wait, Matthew. Let's drain it first.
So you don't want any corn in there?
No, I do, but you don't know. You don't have the liquid in it.
If you like heat, having some sliced jalapenos on the soup is also delicious. Okay, so did you get all the ingredients in the soup? I typed a few ideas for some garnishes: the cilantro, avocado, tortilla chips, sliced jalapeno, sour cream. Those all go really well with the soup as well. And if you have everything in the soup, then Matthew, what time is it? It's cleanup time. That's right, Matthew.
My favorite time.
That's right. So once everything is in the pot, it is clean up time, and your soup should be ready in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, this will be a good lunch. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you were able to join me because otherwise I'd have had all this soup prepped out for nothing.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy these. You should have them for adults too.
I've had a couple of requests, so I'm trying to figure out how I can fit that in my schedule without being teaching all day and night. But I have had a couple requests.
Because even though you can just go online, like I find it's like I actually will do it if it's a scheduled time and I have someone there to ask the questions. Like it's more likely that I'll actually make the meals, because otherwise we eat the same thing, baked chicken, spaghetti.
Over and over, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Are you guys are registered for another class this week, right?
Yeah, on Thursday. I think I wanted to do the is it apple cake or apple pie? I think. Yeah, my son, he loves apple. Anything apple.
All right. Well, enjoy your cleanup time, Matthew, and I'll see you on Thursday, okay?
Okay, great. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Okay, where do we?